Okay, hello everyone. For those of you who attended this presentation live, you will notice that I have changed clothes. That is because I forgot to record. So I get to record this again today, and maybe it'll be a little different, but the same information will come through, and I'm sure we will make it happen as we always do when bad things happen. So anyway, I want to welcome everyone to today's webinar. It's called Build a Website That Doesn't Suck. 2.0. And the reason I'm calling it 2.0 is because I gave this seminar or this presentation in June and had several people give me some suggestions, some feedback, and I believe that I have made it a little bit more value driven, and I hope that you'll find it to be very helpful. Um, in the meantime, as we go through, if there are things that you can think of that you would like for me to do at the end of this presentation, please get in touch with me and give me your feedback on what you would have liked to have seen, what you wish I would not have said. That feedback is always very much appreciated, and I'm just grateful that you are here. So my name is Susie Taylor, and I'll be walking you through this whole process of how you can transform your website into a tool that not only looks great, but actually grows your business. But before we do that, I want to bring your attention to some things about this platform, the Revent platform, that might be helpful to you as you go along. As you're looking at your screen, there is the screen on the left side of your monitor that shows the actual presentation itself. If you look on the right side, there is a section that says notes, and you can click on notes and type your notes right in there as you go. And then as you come back to this to watch the recording, those notes will still be there. They will always be there for you. You can click on a note that you have written. The video will move exactly to where it was when you wrote that note to begin with. You will notice that there are some comments in the chat. That's because when I did this the first time, it saved the chat. Yay! And so the comments and the questions that people had put in the chat during the actual presentation are still there. You can do the same thing as you watch the recording. You can ask questions, you can put comments in, and then we will get notified that there's a new comment, and we can all go back and look at your comment. So it doesn't matter whether you're watching this as a recording. You can still make comments, you can still ask questions, and then I will be notified of that, and you can get your answers. All right, so now let's get started. Well, I've been a writer for more than 40 years, and I've been writing website copy for about the last 3+ years. So I'm excited to share some insights with you today. Now, I understand that your time is precious and that you don't spend it willy-nilly. So I've tried to pack this next hour full of valuable information. And when we're all done, I hope you'll let me know how we did and give me your suggestions on how I can make it better in the future, because I will be offering this presentation again. So if you know of someone who you think would benefit from it, please let them know or pass their information along to me, and I'll make sure they get invited the next time. Today we'll cover some common website mistakes and learn how to apply StoryBrand, that StoryBrand framework, to your website. Take a look at some real-world examples of websites that are getting it absolutely right. Now, before we dive in, please feel free to ask any questions again, and then I will be notified of them. There was a quick Q&A session at the end. I remember a couple of the questions that were asked. I will ask those again, but if you have questions at the end, please put them in the chat, and I will make sure that that they get answered. So, before we talk about those common problems that businesses have with their websites, I really want to talk about the purpose of a website to begin with. Now, you may have heard that for someone to buy something from you, they must know, like, and trust you. And in StoryBrand, we use some different words that basically mean the same thing. We talk about curiosity, enlightenment, and commitment. So, for someone to like you, they first must be curious about you and what you do and how you can help them. Once that curiosity's been satisfied, those customers have to develop a feeling about you. For them to like you, you must enlighten them on your beliefs and values. You must enlighten them on your credibility and your authority. You and that's just what gives you the props to be able to offer solutions to their problems. And before someone commits to spending money or other resources with you, like your time, they must trust you. So we use many different marketing techniques and collateral to help people know us, like us, and trust us, to satisfy their curiosity about us, to enlighten them on our process and help them commit to using our services. So, our websites, specifically your home and about pages, help visitors satisfy curiosity about us, gives them the opportunity to know us. Our lead generators and nurture email campaigns enlighten our prospects and help them like us. And it's our sales emails and sales funnels that give them the opportunity to commit to us because we've taken the time to build trust with them. You may also have heard recently of the acronym EEAT. That means experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Those are all things that, as a provider of a service or a product, that you need to be able to demonstrate to your customers that you have experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So, in the future, I will hold other webinars that focus on the whole like and trust part or enlightenment and commitment phases. But right now, I want to focus on the know, the curiosity our prospects have for us and our services. Your website isn't just about design, it's about messaging. And if your visitors don't immediately understand what you offer and how what you offer helps them, they are gone. They will leave your site and you will have missed an opportunity. Your website is often the first impression that customers get of your business, and it should guide them in a way to effortlessly, it's easier for me to say, effortlessly take action. Um, so today we're going to look at how to make sure that your website does just that. So now let's talk about some of the most common website mistakes that I see regularly. These are things that confuse visitors or make it harder for them to take action. Um, some of the ways that we inadvertently confuse our website visitors is they don't know how to contact us. uh, your contact information, whether no matter how you choose to be contacted, whether it's via email, whether it's a phone number, if it's through visiting your actual location, that information has to be readily available, easily found. Have you ever heard of NAP? That stands for name, address, and phone. So if you, a lot of businesses, they really don't have that information in an easily accessible place. So people have a difficult time contacting them. Um, so you need to have, if you have a brick and mortar store, you have to have the full address, including the city. Uh, People nowadays, it's easy to be in a different part of the country and to be needing some services. And if you find a website and it gives you an address but no city, you have no idea where that business is. If you want visitors or prospects to call you, you have to include the area code. with our mobile phones, we maintain the same phone numbers. And so a lot of times the area code that we use may be different from the area code that is typical for the location where you are located. So make sure that you include the city, the zip code, the area code, and it really all depends on how you want people to contact you. So let's look at a couple of suggestions or a couple of ideas that are examples. Let's say examples. A couple of examples here. So we can see, all right, it's called Rock Auto. It's an auto parts store, online auto parts store. There is really no way on this site to know how to contact them. You can do a search for parts that you might need, but there's no way to fill out a form that says, please give me some information about this. So this is one of those times where I think it's pretty obvious they want you to contact them online, whether it's through email or through, it would be nice if there were a contact form on this page there, but there isn't. And when you scroll, the only scrolling that happens is with the brand of vehicle or machine over here on the left side. So there's really no way in this on this site to be able to contact them with any questions. That's one example. Another one. This is Smiley, the hip hop clown. Um, Obviously, he wants to appear in person. He wants to show up at your party. He wants to be there with you in person. But the only way you can find him is by looking at the navigation on the left side here. And all the way at the bottom, there's contact information. Now, once you click on it, that contact information is available, but it means that you have to look for it. If it were right up here at the top left corner, there would be no moving someplace else. There would be no need to click. There would be no need to scroll. So this is another one of those times when contact information is not readily available and not easily accessible to your visitors. So let's keep going and see. Oh man. All right. Another way that makes things more difficult for people to contact us, and makes it difficult and makes your visitors have to think about what they're doing, is oh, come on. Okay, is if your messaging is unclear, or if it's too complicated, or they don't understand, your visitors don't understand what you want them to do, or let's even say that your visitors don't even know where to click next, what the next step is. Remember, a confused prospect doesn't buy, and if you confuse, you lose. So let's look at a couple of websites that are confusing. We'll go here. This is a perfect one. Where are you supposed to go? Uh, Now, one thing to think about here is this is actually a Norwegian website. There is a place where you can switch over to English, but you can't find it. And actually, when I first went to this website and clicked on it, I had the choice of going Norwegian or English. And I clicked on English and I got an error. So if this company is targeting English speaking customers and something is wrong with their website that it's not translating into English, that is really a something that's confusing for your visitors. Let's look at this one, the Yale School of Art. Now, you would think that being a school of art, they would have the whole design thing down. Um, no, not so, not so at all. They've got their contact information up here. It's very difficult to see. They do have a navigation place over here on the left, but it's very small. It's very difficult to understand that this is a navigation menu. Um, and there's just so much here, and it's so cluttered with this photograph in the background and this community bulletin board. It's just very difficult to know where to go next. How do you find out information about the Yale School of Art? How do you apply to the Yale School of Art? So, this is another one of those examples that it's just very confusing. And when you confuse, you lose. So, and we'll go back here. The other thing are missing calls to action. They're called CTAs, calls to action. Every page on your website should have a clear call to action. And it's one of those things that's often overlooked. Calls to action should be obvious and in several places on your site. So the first call to action should be in the upper right-hand corner of your website. I will get one here that shows you exactly what that talks about. But it should be easy to see, obvious that it's a button, obvious what they want you to do, what the website owners want you to do. Um, and take advantage of how people read or scan a website. I'll share this right here. So this website is a marketing company. And when people typically scan, those of us who read from left to right, we create this big Z as we go through a page. So we look across the top of the page from left to right and look right there, book an appointment. It's obvious. You click this button, book an appointment. That's what's going to happen when you click this button. And then when people scan, they scan from the upper right down to the lower left, and then from left to right again. And that's how people scan a website, those of us who read from left to right. So here again, we go, and it's really interesting here that they've made this top menu sticky so it stays there the whole time. So that book an appointment CTA is always available, always there. But as you scroll down, there's another book an appointment. What are you working on? This I don't really understand, but I could see that it's a way for them to try to get interaction with their website visitors. Um, I'm not sure what. Well, let's click on it and we'll find out what happens. Let's talk. All right, book an information meeting today. I would have preferred that they instead of what are you working on? That's cute. That's clever. It's not clear. Uh, I would have preferred that they say book an appointment right here. Um, and then here, read case studies. So if you want to know, these are other people, other agencies, other companies that they've worked with. If you want to read a case study about their experiences with one of these companies, you can click on that and find out how they worked with that company. Um, they've got social proof with testimonials, book an appointment, and then the junk drawer. Now, one other thing to think about is These these social media icons and links are amazing because it gives their visitors an opportunity to learn more and to satisfy their curiosity about this company, to learn more about this company. But the problem is that when you click one of these, it takes you away from their website, and you want people to stay on your website for as long as possible. So clicking here, it takes them to the Instagram page for this company, but then what are you gonna do when you get to Instagram? I don't know about you, but when I go to Facebook and I start looking at something in particular, then I'm going to start scrolling and find other things to look at, and forget that I started at Murphy Marketing. So it's important to have these links and these other ways for people to learn more about you, but I would not make them front and center. I think the first time we did when we did this live, I made mention of there was another website that had these social media links up in the headline, the header, and I said that it was a good way for them to help people learn more about them. I have since done some research and seen some other website professionals who talked about, yes, that's a great way to teach people about your company, but it's also a great way for people to leave your website and forget what they were doing and not come back. So that's one of the things to think about is that you want people to stay on your website for as long as possible. Also, and you're thinking about that Z formation, where your eye changes direction, that's a good place to place your calls to action, your call to action buttons. Um, Also, another thing that people do is they just overload their homepage with so much information, then people don't know what to do, where to go. There's large blocks of text. It's hard to read. People don't want to read that. People want to scan. Your visitors would really like to just scan your website. So, subheads, headlines, images, artwork, those types of things are all things that you include on your on your homepage to make it interesting and creative so that someone wants to learn the information and then they're not overwhelmed. Another thing to think about is that more than 50% of people uh, review a website on a mobile device. So if your website is not mobile responsive and someone goes to your website on their phone and it's very difficult for them to scroll around and to find out about you and your company and the services that you offer, they're going to leave. And you're going to lose that possibility of having another another customer. If your website is not optimized for mobile, you're missing a huge, huge opportunity. Now, most website builders, apps, the themes that they use automatically create a mobile responsive website. Things like WordPress, Weebly, Wix, uh, all of those types of website builders, uh, Squarespace, they automatically create a mobile optimized site so that and you can check for yourself. Usually there'll be three different icons when you're building your page. One looks like a desktop computer, one looks like a tablet, one looks like a phone, and you can click on each one of those and see what your website's going to look like on that type of a device. So that's something else that you really need to make sure. The other thing to remember is that your message is not about you. Your message is about your customer. So if you are talking or writing or referring to the history of your company, how long you've been in a community, the fact that your grandfather came over from the old country and started this business, and the family has been in it for the last 80 years. Those are things that are not about your customer. Those are things that are about you. Now you can use those stories to build your authority, but you have to make sure that the way you write it is about your customer and not about you. So saying something like, Grandpa Ivan believed that it was his responsibility in our community to help his neighbors. And that's why he created this program, or that's why he created a specific fund for families who couldn't afford what he offered, but needed his products. And Grandpa Ivan taught my dad this very same thing, and my dad taught me. And I still have that feeling that this is my community, and I need to support the people in my community. And that's the basis for why we started this business, is that we have a responsibility to make our community a better place. So the fact that you've been there for 80 years builds your authority, which is awesome. But the most important thing is the family's belief in the community and the fact that your business is there to support the community. Um, and we'll also talk about your about page here too. A lot of people think that about page, it says about us or about me or whatever. It's not. It's not about you. It's about your customer and how you solve their problems. So there is a place to put all that information. When I first did this, when I didn't record it, someone asked about that, about is there a place for, I've been doing this for 20 years, I know what I'm doing, or whatever. And there is absolutely a place for that. And it's all used to build your credibility, build your authority as the person to provide these services or these products to your prospects. And you need to write it in a way that's not tooting your own horn, but rather uh, is demonstrates your wishes, your values, your core beliefs of what your business is there to do and what you've learned over those 20 years and how you you serve your customers because of what you've learned from that 20 years of being in the niche or the service that you offer. So make sure that what you write, your message, is not about you, but it is about your customer. And that brings us to story brand. Story brand um, is a way of taking your customer and what they want and what their problems are, and showing how you fix those problems, and and how you help them succeed. So the simple thing is that the story brand framework provides a simple solution to helping your customers solve their problems. Now, story brand is a powerful marketing framework that helps you clarify your message by focusing on your customer as the hero of the story, not your business. So let's walk through some key elements of the framework. First, you have a character. Character is your customer or your client. Your customer is the hero, not you. Your customer wants to accomplish something, has a goal, wants something, has a problem, and they need a guide or a mentor. You step in and demonstrate your authority, your credibility for being that guide. You give them a very simple plan on how to solve their problem, give them clear, specific calls to action that help them avoid failure and lead to success. So that is basically the story brand framework in a minute. But I want you now to think about your own website and what it looks like, what whether or not the information that you have is clear and logical and demonstrates to your visitors exactly where you want them to go and what you want them to do next. So let's take a look at a couple of story brand websites. The first one I'm going to go to is the story brand website. Um, you might as well start where it all started. So this is the story brand website. It will eventually come up. There you go. So they've got very specific calls to action. Every single one, they have two buttons and they're pretty much always the same. One is become a story brand guide yourself. The other one is book a private workshop. Here's their plan. Very, very simple three-step plan. Clarify your message, launch a sales funnel, watch your revenue grow. Now, obviously, there are more steps than just those 3, but you don't wanna put all of them out here at the same time because that's gonna be confusing and overwhelming. So, we're gonna break it down into 3 very easy steps. Clarify your message, launch a sales funnel, watch your revenue grow. Um, uh, Visit my mattress store, learn how to choose a mattress, get the best sleep of your life. Things like that. Let's scroll down a little bit. Here again is their plan, but a little bit more explanation to it. Become a story brand guide, book a private workshop. And it's very consistent all the way through. The buttons that ask you to become, if you want to become a story brand guide, are the same color all the way down. The buttons that want you to book a private workshop are the same color all the way through the page. Um, and of course, now that one is not the same color, but we're just going to keep on going. You can even learn how to hire a guide who can help you uh, figure out what your message is. And you can get free access to this free video series. Uh, it's very basic. There are not a lot of words. There's not a lot of stuff for you to read and to sift through. But what here is straight and to the point, and you know exactly what you're going to get when you get there. So that's one story brand website. Here, let's go to another one. Here, this also is was built as a story brand website. There's their logo, the name of the company. Here's a free download. So here's your a lead magnet right up here at the top. Complete wedding planning guide and checklist. Phone number over on the right side in the header. Very easy to find, front and center. There's no question about how do they want me to get a hold of them. This call to action button up in the upper right, schedule a tour. And that is to uh, schedule some time for them to take you through what their wedding package is. Um, let's go schedule a tour, watch a video. um, Luxury wedding and event venue in Dallas. So they want to take you through the venue and show you what's there to make your wedding a luxury experience for everyone who attends. Not a lot of words. Schedule a tour all the way down. And what do you want your wedding to be? You want it to leave a lasting impression. You want people to think about your wedding and to think that was the most amazing wedding I've ever been to. So the problem that your customer has doesn't necessarily need to be life and death. It could be as simple as uh, we want a great place to hold our wedding. So you give them a great place to hold their wedding. It could be, like I said before, I need a better mattress, but I don't know how to choose one. I need to get a good night's sleep. So your website is going to explain the whole process of how do you choose a mattress? What's the difference between a firm and a not firm mattress? What kind of people want a firm mattress and what kind of people want a soft mattress? And how do you decide if you are a firm mattress person or a soft mattress person? Uh, so, a mattress company that has that kind of information available is focusing directly on the customer's problem and how to solve it. We're going to help you solve that. Here's our guide on how to choose a mattress. Come into our showroom. We will show you the difference right up front. So is uh, that is those are the basics of what a story brand website looks like. Um, you can apply these techniques to every page of your website, but the primary pages should be your home page and your about page. So your home page should clearly state how it benefits your website visitor. It includes a strong call to action like schedule a call or buy now. Your about page, we talked about that a few minutes ago. Even though it's called about, it's still not about you. It's about your customer. Focus on their needs and how you help them. Your service and product pages should also highlight specific problems that your customers may have and how these products solve those problems. It all goes back to your customer. Your contact page, make it easy for visitors to know how to contact your directions. Short forms work best. Um, that's that's how that's how people will be able to contact you and know exactly what it is that you want them to do next. Um, Basecamp. Basecamp's website is all clearly identifies the problem that there's chaos in project management. If you don't know what Basecamp is, it's very similar to Asana or Trello or Monday.com. It helps you identify problems. The problem that their website helps you identify the problem that they solve, shows you a clear path, and gives very prominent calls to action, like try it for free. FreshBooks also highlights their software's benefits, the upfront problems that they solve. It's all easy accounting. Um, and and those are the basics. The basics of the best website is it's got to be clear. It's got to show how you solve someone's problem, your customer's problem, and how they can access your services. So today we've covered a lot of common mistakes and how to use the story brand framework. Saw some great examples of some websites that use that framework and some other websites that aren't so great. I do have one in particular that I want to show you. Uh, One thing about building a website is make sure that you are using well-known conventions. All right. So typically, a navigate at the top of the page. Um, you only want to have at the most 5 choices in that menu. If you have more than 5 choices, it makes it very confusing for people. What do they want to look at first? Typically, if you have a blog, it's called a blog. My old website, I called it My Musings. Stupid. No one wants to know my musings, that's for sure. But someone might want to read my blog. There you go. Um, your the words you use need to be clear and typical words that most people use. of engineering companies, human resources companies, financial companies use niche lingo, use market lingo. And for some is just starting the process of wanting to know how to guarantee that they have enough money for retirement, they need regular words. They don't need the financial industry lingo. They don't understand it. It makes it very confusing for them. They leave your website and they find somebody who does explain things in their language. You typically want the words on your website to be at an 5th to 8th grade level. And I would say, even if you know only engineers are coming to your site, you still want to make it very easy for people to understand. You may also have the feeling, I'm going to go back to StoryBrand a little bit here. You may also have the feeling that I started my business so that I could help people and I could step in and save the day. We all walk around in own, I was going to say movie, but this is real life. It's not, you don't get a second chance at it, but I'm still going to use that example of a movie. We walk around, our lives are like a movie in our heads. We are the main characters of our movies. We don't want someone else to step into our story and be the hero. You want someone who is going to come alongside you and show you what you need, someone who has been through it before and can show you what you need to do to solve your problem so that you become the hero of your own story. Now, I may have said that it's like a movie in your head. This is real life. The things that you're experiencing are your experiences. So I don't want to trivialize it by saying it's like a movie, but everyone else they're just supporting characters. Even your significant others and the people closest to you are supporting characters. They have their own story that they're living. And I mean, I've got a business. I don't want someone else to step in and be the hero of my story. I want to be able to do that for myself. So, so that's why your business is not your client's be all and end all. Your role is to be Obi-Wan Kenobi to their Luke Walker, who has to do something even though he doesn't want to, but he's the one who's been called to do it, and he's the one who learned how to do it. So we've gone through a lot of good sites, not so good sites. We've talked about some things that you need to have on your site. I want to apologize. I know this is the second time I've gone through it. It's certainly not as good as the first time when I had an audience. But I would love to offer you a free 30-minute strategy call so that we can take a look at your website and maybe come up with some very quick wins and talk about an action plan that we can put together, that we can personalize, that will help you build your site in a way that will keep visitors on your site and cause them to want to learn more about you, to be enlightened about you, so that they continue a journey with you. I did put my scheduling link is in the chat here. I've also put in my email address in case you would like just to email me. But all it takes is 30 minutes, and we will go through and talk about how we can support you and how we can help your website turn into something that is a converting machine. I did have one other website that I wanted to show you, and I'll do that very quickly here. It's sort of an example of how cute just doesn't work. This is the University of Advancing Technology website. It looks like this is all they've got. But then you see there is a bar at the bottom. So rather than scrolling down a page, they want you to scroll to the right. And everything that you would normally find farther down on a page is to the right. And then their main navigation menu is clear to the far right of their page. So if you don't notice this scroll bar at the bottom, this is all you think you've got. And yes, there's a hamburger menu right there, but a lot of people don't really understand what that is. So this is cute. From a design perspective, it's beautiful. From an ease of use perspective, it is less than desirable. So that was the last website that I wanted to share with you, just to give you an idea of how cute is not necessarily um, the best. Anyway, I think we are done. And if you've got questions, if you've got comments, I will remember to hit record the next time I do this. I apologize for it being um, a little haphazard, but those are the problems that happen when you've got so much going on in your brain that you can't bring all the important stuff out right when you need it. So I hope that this was helpful for you, and I would really appreciate the time just to sit and talk with you about your site, what your goals are, and how you want to accomplish those. So please get in touch with me, schedule a 30-minute call. It's a free call, and we can always talk about how we might be able to support you in the future. So thank you so much. I appreciate your help, and I appreciate your attendance and your time. And I look forward to seeing you at the next presentation. Thanks so much. Take care.